Hello, and welcome to another episode of the More Minute. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can leverage Data and Snowflake for cost optimization. So let's jump right in. As a quick refresher, Data is a hybrid open data lakehouse, which is a data store which helps enterprises unify and unlock the value of analytics and AI. And there are three key functions of Data that I love to cover. The first is that it's open. This is no vendor lock-in. It does not just use IBM specific products. The second is that it's all about workload optimization. So you can leverage this technology for everything from BI to Gen AI and do so in a way that is extremely cost efficient, this price performance, which I'll get into later on. And third is that it's all about being AI ready. And this is cultivating different vectorized embedding to really improve AI outputs. The real magic of Data is all at this unified metadata layer, and it's leveraging Iceberg as this kind of key source of truth and almost as this Rosetta Stone, which helps you translate between multiple different data formats, which can come from any infrastructure, be it hybrid, on-prem, any cloud, any type of storage, specifically S3 compatible storages, and it lets you bring in data formats from Parquet, Avro, uh, ORC, CSV, etc. And we also support a poly query engine technology. So you can see here lots of different query engines, including Snowflake. So what enterprises really struggle with as they leverage this SaaS data warehouse capability in Snowflake is their cost. And they quickly see cost growing. And so cost optimization and being as efficient as possible with cost becomes a major issue, specifically as enterprises scale and if you're working with large enterprises. So the real way that many enterprises leverage Data to help optimize their Snowflake cost is being able to leverage the object store for the ingestion and transformation of their data, and then leveraging Snowflake as one of the many different query engines here. And so you're really then having Snowflake pull read queries into an object store as opposed to uploading everything into Snowflake. And as many enterprises find, Cloud Object Store is a much more cost-efficient storage object as opposed to SSDs, solid state drives, which Snowflake uses, or NVMe drives, which provide you storage at the speed of memory, which can be great for reading and maybe not as critical for writing or cleansing the data to get it to that point. So Snowflake is, as I mentioned, great for the warehouse deployments and the challenge around the cost controls, as well as it's only really able to be leveraged for cloud. And we know that many enterprises who have been around for a long time have lots of information on-prem that they also need to use as well. So when we think about how we go through the data ingestion to business ready insights and really getting our data repeatable, having repeatable data products. In this case, we're really focusing on Snowflake, but this is so critical for all enterprises as they work through and manage their data. So I really want to focus on this medallion architecture. So going from bronze to silver and then ending in gold. And what the real focus of this video is how you can point Snowflake just towards that gold data and not have to use Snowflake and SSDs for bronze or silver category of data here. And I want to go a little bit deeper here. So instead of using Snowflake for the ingestion, for the transformation and the aggregation, and then ultimately data consumption, many enterprises find that when they leverage, way to attempt to draw a circle here is risky. So many enterprises, when they take their data from the bronze or maybe even a 10 status of raw data that they really just ingested from multiple sources, when they're able to ingest it, clean it, enrich it, then that becomes data that's much more usable. And that's where they want to really choose to consciously use their cost and allocate more budget for just the gold refined data, as opposed to finding ways to really optimize their costs when they're working with bronze or silver level data. So at this bronze state, you can see here where this is really raw, very unprocessed data that you're just ingesting into the system. And data of this quality can easily leverage Cloud Object Store, especially because it's not really business usable yet. And of course, you can leverage Spark, which integrates with watsonx.data as well as Spark C++. And then when you get to this silver level, which is about cleansing, structuring, and enriching, this is about applying business rules, enriching that data, and preparing it for a deeper level of analysis and insight, so becoming more and more business usable. And here you can leverage Spark, IBM Knowledge Catalog, as well as Presto, which really comes out of the box with watsonx.data. So again, it's really helping you with the ingestion and transformation of that data. It's really a great tool to use for that. And as well as Spark C or Presto C++ or Prestissimo. And finally, at that gold level, this is really business ready data that can be used for analytics, that can be used for BI tools, etc. And so you could leverage things like Presto for BI, Spark for more of the AI ML applications, as well as you can really point this to Snowflake. So what I've discussed here is, said another way, about using data and specifically watsonx.data with Snowflake first to do any sort of write queries in a cloud object store, leveraging really Presto or Spark C++ or Presto C++ or Knowledge Catalog or those types of query engines, and using that to do the right queries where you're really getting your data quality up from bronze to silver to gold. And then you can come in and leverage Snowflake just for those read queries using the amazing capabilities of an NVMe or an SSD drive to really have that fast processing and meeting queries that have high standards of SLAs, doing those read queries and pointing it to that same object store, but just for the highest quality level of data. And of course, it doesn't just have to be IBM Cloud Object Store, it can be any major cloud providers, cloud object store, as you can see here. I want to thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope that this was helpful, and I'd love to get any comments or feedback from you around leveraging Snowflake and watsonx.data for cost optimization. I will see you on my next video.